Hi ladies and gentlemen, this is Jock here and I'm here to answer another question that came in from a reader. If you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe below because this is where I talk about and teach everything to do with the afterlife, parapsychology, paranormal and anything spiritually orientated on this channel. So make sure you subscribe below because I regularly release videos to help enlighten and to share my knowledge and wisdom with you guys. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to ask a question that is on everybody's lips, especially those who have lost loved ones, to do with their grieving process and their connection to the other side. And it came in and I was asked, you know, why can't I connect with my loved one? No matter how much I try, I can't connect. Now here's the thing, and I want to go through a couple of scenarios here with you. Everybody can connect to the loved ones on the other side. But there's something that you need to understand. You need to understand what's called the language of the soul. You need to understand how spirit communicates with you and in which way they communicate. Because a lot of the times, spirit is actually trying to communicate with you, or spirit is communicating with you, but you miss those signs and those little nuances and signals that are around you. And so what I would say is you can actually check other videos that I have done and podcasts I have done on the signs of spirit, which will help you to recognize that. But one of the reasons really that you can't connect is because you don't understand the language of the soul or how the mechanics of the spirit world actually work. The second reason is because it could be too early in your grief or in your grief journey. You still have that cloud, that fog around you, that grief. If you imagine the grief like a fog, you know, the thicker the fog is, the more difficult it is to perceive anything or to see anything. So you have put up this impenetrable fog through your grief, and that's another reason that you cannot connect. And these, I'm going to give you the three top reasons, and the third reason is because you're trying too hard. And these are the three main reasons, and the reason that you actually try too hard is because we all have a sense of loss when we lose a loved one, no matter if it's a pet, no matter if it's an uncle, an aunt, a son, a daughter, whatever it is in our family, and we have this great sense of loss. And what we actually miss is we miss that material connection, that touch, that feel, that speech, you know, to be able to feel that vibration. We miss that, and so it's very difficult then for you to take this idea to another level, that they're still in existence, but they just can't communicate in the same way that you would have experienced in the material world. So the reality is that that you actually are blocking that yourself. You are actually trying too hard. When you try to, you got to think about when you open a door. You know, it's easier when you pull it towards you. You either pull it towards you or you push it open. But what happens when you push something open is you're pushing it away from you. So you want to, you bring it towards you gently, and that's how you kind of think open the door. I've used the analogy of a waterfall so many times that in order to really feel the essence of that waterfall, then you need to actually become it. You need to be part of it. You need to get into it. You can't just hold a waterfall and you hold the water from the waterfall in your hands, and keep that there as a material aspect of that wonder of nature, because inevitably it will continue to evolve and it will continue to change and it will move on. So when you're trying too hard, it's that analogy. You're pushing the door open, you're pushing it away from you. Because you're trying too hard, you're not really in a relaxed state. You're not allowing something to gently come to you. We, as mediums, we allow spirit to come to us. We raise our vibration, but we don't call upon them. We raise our vibration and we allow them to come to us. Okay, that's the natural process. And so when you're going through, there's many other reasons that you'll block yourself, but those three main reasons are the ones I want to say. You don't understand the language of the soul. You're trying too hard. You're missing a lot of the signs that are around you, and you're too early in your grief journey, or you're not through, you're not understanding your grief. Your grief is blocking you with that impenetrable not frog, that impenetrable fog. Sorry, not a frog. But if you try too hard for something, it's not a natural thing to allow it to come to you. So when you feel as if you have to connect, you're actually pushing it away from you. The best thing is that you've got to learn to relax. You've got to learn the language of the soul, and you're blocking yourself because you're putting up that impenetrable here we go again, frog. It's getting late, guys. That impenetrable fog. So, you have to think about it. It's everybody can connect with their loved ones. There's meditation that I have, that I recorded, that you can actually use, and that will help you. There's many other different exercises that I will give you to help you connect with loved ones. But the real thing is to recognize signs, but recognize them in a grounded way. Don't think every orb or every picture or little smoke ring or something is a sign from them. You'll recognize, you'll have a knowing. There's a real connection. There is a link that's there. That bond of love has never gone. That bond of love is still there. But that unique link, there's something that just raises in you that you understand that is a sign from your loved ones. You'll learn how they communicate through sounds, through visualization, through seeing certain things, from synchronicities that happen. Carl Jung was an amazing advocate of synchronistic energy, synchronicities. And so, there's a synchronicity in some of these signs that happen. How they affect animals, how they're able to, manipulate or influence Mother Nature or animal nature, if you like, So they do their part and you have to do your part. But if you're going to keep holding on to that grief, if you were never going to let that grief let it go, then there's a chance that you're going to block yourself. And I wouldn't want you to do that. So it's important. Yes, we all grieve. We all grieve in different ways. And we go through our journey in grief in so many different ways. And no medium can heal you from grief. I've said this time and time again. A medium is there to hold your hand and to walk along that journey, to give you support. We can't heal you from your grief. Your grief journey is a journey that you inevitably have to take on your own, and you'll have maybe friends and family and relatives that can maybe help you and support you. But essentially, it is a journey that you have to go on. And so if any medium says they can heal you from grief, then I would be very skeptical of it, and I certainly wouldn't want to connect with them in any way. But remember that those blockages that you have, you don't understand the language of the soul. You're trying far too hard, okay? And you've created that impenetrable fog. I'm saying the frogs again, fog. So your loved ones actually can't get through to you. Even in your dream state, your grief can be so deep that you don't actually make that vibrate. You don't remember. You probably do connect with them, but you don't remember. There's many other different aspects that we can look at, but I only want you to think of those three aspects and how you can actually work through them. There has to come a certain level of acceptance in grief. I've lost many, many, many loved ones over my life, and I have to come to an acceptance of it. And you'll notice that even mediums grieve. I mean, just because we can communicate with the other side, it makes our journey that little bit easier, but we still grieve. We grieve the same as every other person. We go through similar emotions. And so don't think that because we're mediums that we don't actually go through that and we don't have any empathy to that. We do. But the reason that you can't communicate with your loved one is because you're trying too hard. That's 90% of the time. You're trying too hard. You're not allowing it to come to you, and you're not being relaxed about it. You have a desperation and a need, and so sometimes then you then use a medium as a crutch, and you'll constantly go to mediums, hoping to just communicate all the time and get information. You shouldn't need to do that, because one good sitting with a good medium should give you enough information and evidence to know that your loved one is around and to learn then the language of the soul. Meditation being a great tool for that. And we'll talk about meditation in another episode. But I just want to kind of put that out to you that there are many other reasons, but these are the three main reasons. You've created an impenetrable fog, or you've built that brick wall, because I seem to be stuck with the word frog in my head. And secondly, you don't understand the language of the soul, how to recognize those signs of your loved ones around you. And the third one is you're trying too hard. Those are the three main reasons that you block yourself from feeling your loved ones around you. No matter how hard you try, if you cannot deal with these three aspects at some point in your grief journey, then it is going to be very, very difficult for you to actually communicate and to get that connection that you so desire. But what I can tell you is your loved ones still exist. They are still around you. They're always sending you signs. Well, not all the time, but they are sending you signs a lot. And signs don't always, they're just not there all the time. So don't rely on, when you get a sign, looking for another one, looking for another one. It's not like a drug. It's not like an alcohol. You know, you have to get a balance in life, just as much as you have to have a balance in your spirit life as well. So work on those three aspects. Work on them with prayer, work on them with knowledge, understanding, and start to, don't be in a rush, because you've got plenty of time. Loved ones are still alive. They're not gone. So try and take your time and relax more to be able to learn about that information, to open yourself up to the possibility of that communication coming in, and, you know, breaking down those barriers and clearing that fog that you have built up. Okay, so if you work on those three aspects, you will get communication. You will start to recognize the signs and symptoms, the signs of, not symptoms, the signs of loved ones around you. And in that respect, it's going to help you in your grief journey more. Your loved ones on the other side as well. One other thing I want to say, sometimes your loved ones on the other side are not able to communicate with you because they haven't learned how to communicate. Maybe they're not vibrationally, they're not in a high vibrational state, so maybe they didn't have much of a spiritual life on this side, and so they're learning on that side. But it doesn't mean they won't. It just means that there's just a little bit of time for all this to come together. But I would say, personally, in my opinion, 99% of the time, or say 95% of the time, is you are actually blocking yourself through trying too hard to make that communication. So try and, you know, go to a good quality medium, go to a reputable medium who's been well trained, who can give you really good evidence, and hopefully that medium should be able to give you guidance on how to recognize the signs of your loved ones around you, because there's so many different ways, and sounds, you know, them touching you. My own family have had experience of being touched in dream, you know, also in dream state, you know, seeing signs, synchronistic signs around you. There's so many ways. Go and watch the other videos that I have. Ask any questions, because I'm happy to share any knowledge that I have, and be aware of loose frogs. God bless. Bye-bye.